Well, hello again everyone, and throughout the land people are asking what's happening with the old motorhome brakes. Well, last time we identified we really need to work on both sides of the vehicle at once to replace those brake pipes if we're going to have to. So I need to move it away from this wall and onto the drive at the front of the house. So what I've done is I've cable tied the new brake pipes and the old brake pipes just away from the drive shaft so that they don't get tangled in it. I'm going to put the wheel back on. We've still got the clamps on these hoses. I'm not expecting them to hold much pressure, but we'll still have a very small amount of uneven, horrible braking. Still got the handbrake. I'm going to put the wheel back on and we're going to move the van very carefully and slowly onto the drive at the front. Now I have to say, this is not really a recommended activity, driving around with no brakes. We've only got to move it within our own little private parking area. And Nikki's going to stand at the entrance and marshal things so that we don't have any unexpected deliveries or pedestrians coming up onto our drive whilst I do it. So I think, although it's not the best thing to be doing, we are being reasonably safe by doing so. The worst is going to happen is that I'm not going to stop and I'm going to crash into the front of our own house, which would be very embarrassing, but not a big disaster for anyone else. Well folks, that's the wheel back on the van and we're ready to move the van. I'm not going to do it just yet because Nikki's got a visitor in the house and they're parked on the drive, so got to wait for them to go before we can move this, and obviously you don't want people walking around and stuff anyway. In the meantime, I'm going to make up some boards for the axle stands because the drive is gravel, so it's a little bit dicey to put the axle stands straight on the gravel. They need something to spread the load so that we don't have any untoward incidents. Well, somehow it's got to early evening. It's about 7:15 and I've done no more on the van. I've been mucking around all day with motorbikes. But anyway, we better at least achieve something other than moving the van around in circles. So let's get it up on the axle stands, ready for some more work to take place. Well, it's a couple of days later now. It's actually Good Friday. I've had to go to work the last couple of days, so I've not done much on the van. What I'm going to do to press on with it is I'm going to do exactly what we've already done on the driver's side to the passenger side to get them roughly to the same stage before we start looking at those brake lines. So I'm not going to show it in fantastic detail because you've already seen it all once. So if you want to have a look at how I got to this stage on the other side, then the detail is in the previous videos. Right, let's crack on. Ah yes, Mr. Safety Owl would like me to remind you that I'm not a trained or qualified mechanic, and these are just vlogs for your entertainment as you watch us trying to keep our 1990 motorhome on the road. If you have any doubts about working on your own brakes, then you should probably contact a qualified mechanic yourself. God, I tell you what, it's quite a bit colder out here today. Well folks, look at the state of this brake disc. If anything, that's worse than the other one. The pads can only have been contacting, well, hardly anything on the inside, and maybe a bit more on the outside. Obviously it has rusted up a little bit sitting here, but look how deep a lot of this pitting is. Yeah, well worth changing these, even though it has turned out to be quite a hassle. Now, the few people comment that using the hot air gun wasn't really sufficient, so I have got my blow lamp and I have got fire extinguisher. So we'll just have a quick try of this. No folks, it's mission unsuccessful I'm afraid, so I'm going to clamp off those brake hoses and just cut them, and we'll take the caliper in and do the caliper, and we're just going to have to replace all these brake lines, I think. This time though, I'm going to make sure I pump out both pistons on the caliper. They're not coming out very evenly, are they? This one's coming out much more than that one. Let's give it another couple of pumps. I'm also going to check the reservoir, just make sure that's not getting too low. That'll do, I think. We have moved it so we know it's free. We'll get that out okay, I think. That's well in there. Never mind, we'll sort that out later. Anyway, I've got these clamps because I couldn't get any more of the metal clamps. I only bought two because I intended doing one side at a time. So I bought these instead. We'll try these. Right, well, it's 5:30 and Mr. Ginge has come out to tell me that it's getting towards dinner time, isn't it, boy? Yeah, he's off to get his dinner. So I think that's probably it for today, and we'll press on again tomorrow. Well, Saturday now, and it's time to get on with rebuilding that caliper. So we'll do it pretty much exactly how we did the previous one. The first thing is to free up that block of wood that's now trapped in it. unfortunately, I've come to a bit of a halt because I can't find the other caliper repair kit. I've turned the garage upside down looking for it. I was very careful to keep all the brake parts on the little stainless steel table I've got in there, and everything else is still there. It's just that other caliper repair kit is missing. I even began to doubt myself whether I'd actually ordered two, so I've gone back onto the Autodoc website, and yeah, I definitely ordered two, and I do remember two being delivered. So I'm at a bit of a loss. The only thing I can think of is that I've scooped them up when I was tidying around after some of the other jobs and thrown it away, which I don't know. Anyway, that's brought things to a bit of a grinding halt. So one way of guaranteeing that I do find it is to order another one. So I'm going to order another one now, and no doubt when I go back out to the garage I will immediately find the missing one again. Right, well that's that other caliper rebuild kit ordered. Watch me go out to the garage now and immediately find the other one. Hopefully anyway. But I have got now some red Smooth-Right, so we can at least finish off that other little job on the wheels perhaps while we're waiting for the other part to be delivered. Well, what do you reckon to that colour scheme for the wheels? I don't know, I reckon that'll look alright once all four are done. That's if I ever properly get my act together and get it back on the road and stop throwing away the parts I need, of course. Well, that's all for now. If you enjoyed it, press like, subscribe if you want to see some more, and ring the bell to be notified when we upload something new.